Ever wondered where you fit in the social hierarchy? There are 6 main types of male personalities: alphas, betas, sigmas, and a few others you might not expect. In this video, we're breaking down each one. Let's start with the big dog, the alpha male. Picture this, a room full of people, and there's one guy who naturally commands everyone's attention. That's the alpha. These guys are assertive, dominant, and often found in leadership roles. They're the ones who thrive in the spotlight, like a CEO who can run a boardroom with just a glance. Now, becoming an alpha isn't just about barking orders. It's about confidence, walking into every situation like you own it. But here's the trick. Alphas don't talk about themselves all the time. They let their actions do the talking. They lead by example and are usually the ones making decisions, not just following orders. Think about characters like King Leonidas from 300 or Captain America. These guys are strong leaders, standing firm in their beliefs and rallying others to their cause. They're not just fighters, they're leaders who inspire. You'll often find alphas in roles that demand authority. Think top executives, military leaders, or even the charismatic head of a sports team. But here's the kicker. Being an alpha isn't about being a bully or a control freak. It's about having a natural ability to lead and inspire, while still maintaining respect for those around you. But remember, being an alpha isn't just about being tough. It's about finding that balance between confidence and humility. You don't have to be the loudest in the room to be the leader. Sometimes, the strongest presence is the one that's felt, not heard. Alphas also have their downsides. They can sometimes be overly competitive, and their need to be in control can come off as domineering. But when they get it right, they're the ones who bring out the best in others, leading teams to success. Now let's flip the coin and talk about beta males. Betas often get a bad rap, but they play an essential role in social dynamics. These guys are more agreeable, cooperative, and they excel in supportive roles. You'll find them as the reliable second-in-command, the guy who makes sure everything runs smoothly behind the scenes. Betas are like the Ron Weasleys or Samwise Gamgees of the world. They may not be in the spotlight, but they're the ones you can count on when the going gets tough. They're loyal, dependable, and often the glue that holds a group together. One thing about betas, they're relationship-oriented. They crave forming meaningful connections and are often the peacekeepers in social settings. They're the ones who step in to mediate when things get heated, using their calm demeanor to diffuse tensions. In relationships, betas are often the more nurturing partner, focusing on creating harmony and ensuring everyone feels valued. But just because they're not as dominant doesn't mean they're pushovers. Betas possess a quiet strength, one that comes from being supportive rather than confrontational. They know that leadership doesn't always mean being the loudest voice in the room. It can also mean being the steady hand that guides others through uncertainty. Betas are also adaptable, willing to step up when needed, but just as content to take a back seat when the situation calls for it. They understand the value of teamwork and are often the ones who make sure everyone is on the same page. Their strength lies in their ability to collaborate, to bring people together, and to create a sense of unity. Then we have the delta males, the everyman, if you will. Deltas are often overlooked in the grand scheme of things, but that doesn't mean they're not important. They're neither the leaders nor the followers. They're somewhere in between, going about their business without much fuss. Deltas are adaptable, reliable, and often take on essential tasks that keep everything running smoothly. Think of Harry Potter or Marty McFly, guys who aren't looking for the spotlight but end up stepping into leadership roles when the situation demands it. They're not natural leaders, but when push comes to shove, they can rise to the occasion. What's interesting about deltas is that they're content with their role. They're not looking to challenge the status quo or rock the boat. They just want to do their job and go home. And there's something to be said for that. Sometimes, it's the steady, dependable guys who keep everything from falling apart. Deltas are often the unsung heroes, the ones who put in the hard work without expecting much in return. They're the ones who keep the gears turning in any organization, quietly ensuring that everything stays on track. But don't mistake their lack of ambition for complacency. Deltas are fully aware of their value, even if they don't shout it from the rooftops. They're also highly practical, preferring to focus on tangible results rather than abstract ideas. Deltas are the problem solvers, the ones who can be counted on to get things done efficiently and effectively. They might not seek recognition, but they certainly deserve it. Next up, we've got the Gamma males, the rebels. Gammas are the ones who march to the beat of their own drum. They're often contrarian, challenging social norms and questioning authority. This independent streak can make them seem like outsiders, but it's also what sets them apart. Gammas are highly intelligent, often creative, and have a strong sense of self. They're the Tony Starks and Jack Sparrows of the world. Guys who don't play by the rules, but still manage to come out on top. They're not afraid to push boundaries and explore new ideas, even if it means going against the grain. But here's the catch. Gammas can also struggle with the dating scene. They're not always the most socially adept, and their independent nature can sometimes come off as aloof or detached. They might adopt what's known as the secret king mentality, where they see themselves as above the social hierarchy. That said, Gammas have a lot to offer. They're empathetic, often kind, and have a deep understanding of the world around them. They're the type to challenge the status quo not just for the sake of it, but because they genuinely believe in a better way of doing things. Gammas are also intensely passionate about their interests, often diving deep into subjects that fascinate them. This can make them incredibly knowledgeable and skilled in specific areas, but it can also lead to them being misunderstood by others who don't share their level of enthusiasm. Now let's talk about Omega males. These guys are often at the bottom of the social hierarchy. But don't count them out just yet. Omegas are typically introverted, preferring their own company or that of a small, close-knit group. They might lack some social skills, but they make up for it with their unique interests and hobbies. Think Peter Parker or Walter Mitty, guys who might be a bit awkward in social settings, but are incredibly talented and passionate about their interests. Omegas are the nerds, the geeks, the ones who might not fit in with the crowd but excel in their niche. One thing that sets Omegas apart is their honesty. They're not trying to impress anyone, and they're clear about their intentions. They're not competitive, and they don't feel the need to conform to social expectations. This can make them seem a bit odd, but it also means they're incredibly authentic. Omegas are also childlike at heart, holding on to a sense of wonder and curiosity that others might lose as they grow older. They're helpful, reliable, and often have a deep sense of loyalty to those they care about. Sure, they might struggle with planning or big-picture thinking, but when it comes to their passions, they're unstoppable. Omegas often have rich inner worlds filled with creativity and imagination. They might be drawn to hobbies like gaming, collecting, or other niche interests that allow them to express their unique personalities. And while they might not be the most socially adept, they often form deep, meaningful connections with those who share their passions. Last but certainly not least, we have the Sigma males, the lone wolves. Sigmas share many traits with alphas, but they operate outside the traditional social hierarchies. They're independent, self-reliant, and often prefer solitude to being part of a group. Sigmas are the Bruce Waynes and John Wicks of the world, charismatic and capable, but not interested in leading or following. They value their independence above all else and are perfectly comfortable going their own way, even if it means walking alone. What makes Sigmas so intriguing is their ability to blend in when they want to. They can navigate different social circles, but they don't feel the need to stay. They're adaptable, intelligent, and often have a deep understanding of human nature. Sigmas are also highly introspective, spending a lot of time thinking about who they are and what they want out of life. This makes them incredibly self-aware and often gives them an edge when it comes to making decisions. They're not impulsive. They think things through and act only when they're ready. What makes Sigmas so intriguing is their ability to blend in when they want to. They can navigate different social circles, but they don't feel the need to stay. They're adaptable, intelligent, and often have a deep understanding of human nature. Sigmas are also highly introspective, spending a lot of time thinking about who they are and what they want out of life. This makes them incredibly self-aware and often gives them an edge when it comes to making decisions. They're not impulsive. They think things through and act only when they're ready. So, which one are you? Maybe you see a bit of yourself in all of these personalities, or maybe one stands out as your true self, or maybe you think these are all a bunch of nonsense. Let's start a conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to After School Psychology if you found this breakdown helpful. See you in the next one.